Welcome to Toffee TV, proudly backed by Ladbrokes for the season. It is the match preview. Chelsea, 12:30 kick-off at Goodison Park. 12:30, God!
At least it's done and dusted.
I know, but everyone's going to be sitting there going for me Christmas pint.
Well, he would have been sitting there at 3 o'clock thinking the same, at 5 thinking the same.
It's different though, isn't it?
To be honest, mate, I'm just thinking it's done then. It's done by 2:30, and then...
Oh yeah, you... Says the man who doesn't finish work at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, there is that. There is that. However,
half 12 kick-off, which doesn't mean it'll be the greatest atmosphere in the world, but that being said, it's a strange one, this. I think, you know, we're on a good run of form. Chelsea are on decent run. Obviously they got beat a couple of weeks ago at West Ham 1-0. But I look at this Chelsea team and I'm not quite sure what you get. It's a strange team for me. They're not quite. I think last season and Chelsea teams of the past, you know what you're getting. They're pretty steady, but this season, although they haven't lost that many, I just don't feel like there's a level of consistency that runs through the team, or even an ideology of how they want to play. They seem to me like a very unsettled team.
Yeah. They've been like this for a few years though. They seem to be good, and then things don't quite go the same the next season, and then change the manager and do. I mean, I don't know, Mourinho, didn't he? Came in, won the league, finished second, won the league, and it was like they're up and running again. And then he was gone. A few months later, Christmas, and then you've had that, and then Conte come in and won the league, and then this season there's been question marks about his future. But I think the big thing is they lost Diego Costa, who's been like a powerful frontman for them, and everything else was played off him, wasn't it? They've got Morata in now, who's excellent, don't get me wrong, but he's a bit different to Costa. And I think you're right, you just don't know what's happening with them. They're still winning games.
Yeah, they're still third, aren't they?
They won 4-0 at West Brom, and they won 3-1 at Huddersfield, 2 of the last 3 away games. So they've got the goals in them, they've still got the power in them.
Beat Southampton 1-0 as well, didn't they?
Got past Southampton at the weekend 1-0, but I don't know. They're just the thing what I'd say about Chelsea is they're durable. They're not one of these. They're not soft-centred at all. So
I feel like they're in a bit of transition, but without too much upheaval. But I don't think it takes much to sort of unsettle Chelsea. It's hard to put your finger on, because they're still winning games, they're still in third place, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel like I feel like everything's set there. And whether that comes from Conte, because he's not committed long term, because he's not, is he? He's going to go back to Italy, I think, maybe one more year, maybe not even one more year, but I think he'll go back to Italy sooner rather than later, and then they'll go for whoever the next big thing is at the time. So that won't really phase them, but they seem to be in a bit of transition. And you look at people like David Luiz, who was last year, was like, he's back and he's a defender and he's got everything now, and now he can't get in the team and he's being kept out. And it's little things like that. Hazard being out injured, he seems like he's getting back to his best now, but him being out injured, not having sort of dealing without him, but not having that creativity, and now he's back in the side. It's almost like, well, we've got him back in the side, but I don't know, they're just a dead strange team to pin down. They went to Anfield a few weeks ago and they essentially did what we did, but with better players, and they were lauded for it. And they can do that. They've got the very, like you said, they're very durable. They'll dig in for the fight, and I suppose that's the worry come Saturday, is that the teams we played so far, bar Liverpool, under Sam Allardyce, have been pretty poor sides, teams that are good at, a good normal Everton team should beat, and this will be a real test, certainly at home, because it'll be interesting to see what his tactics are. Because I think even though it's people understand the situation. I don't think Evertonians are prepared for that kind of way of playing at home, and nor should they be. And so it'll be interesting to see how he approaches the game and how he sets up and what his tactics are rather than anything else.
I don't think that they're not Liverpool, are they? And they're not Manchester City.
No.
I mean by that is the pace and the power on the break. They've got fantastic players, don't get me wrong, of course. They have Fabregas is a hell of a player. You know, Hazard, like you just mentioned, Morata, like we said. We've got danger in wide areas from Victor Moses, Alonso, those kind of players. So you go through the team, you know, there's players there, Batshuayi coming off the bench. They've got good talented players in that squad, and like we said, strong in midfield, you know, Kante in midfield, and so, and the other kid, what's his name, Bakayoko, people like that. But I don't know, I think there's always, you know, Pedro as well, of course, but like last season they were going for the title and we were good at home, and for 65 minutes it was a tight game. And Calvert-Lewin hit the post in the opening minute, that goes in, it's a different thing altogether. It was a tight game. And then Pedro scores a worldie, and then we got caught chasing the game, and he cut us open. They ended up beating us 3-0 in the end, didn't he? But I think it's a game we can win. West Ham proved that if you can get the first goal and then dig in. I think I know what you're saying. We, as Evertonians, we don't want to see our team having 20% of the possession at home. Away from home, alright, horses for courses. But at Goodison, we don't want to see a performance where we haven't got the ball and we're just open that we score off a set piece. Because I think at the moment he might, if we won the game 1-0 off a set piece, we'd all go, well, we've won the game, and it'll carry on, and we'll get better, and that's fine. But I think that's probably where people will look at Sam Allardyce any longer than this season and go, what can you do? What are you gonna do when we're the team that needs to be the aggressors at home? But I suppose, is that a case for now? Does he need that? Do we just need to have our shape in time?
I mean, it'd be interesting, because it'd be interesting to see whether the wins we've already had have bought him or allowed them the right to go into this game and be a little bit more expansive. You know, because we've got 25 points. You know, this will mark the halfway point of the season. You know, you look at that and you think, you know, if we continue how we've been going so far, we should be okay to try and push for, you know, the top 10, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. We should be all right for that. And does he look at this game and think and say, well, it's a freebie in a way, or does he look at it and say, well, no, I won't. Forget about the fact, you know, forget about the fact that we're still in we're not in a relegation battle, or we are in a relegation battle, whatever way he looks at it. You know, is there a way he might think about it and go, well, you know what? No, we're keeping the basics, because that's what's got us so far, and that's what'll get us, you know, where we want to go this season. Keeping the discipline, keeping the basics. Everything else is built on top of that, but we keep the discipline first of all, and then almost like Monday night against Swansea. Almost like that's the base, and we start from there, and we're trying to keep clean sheets, and we go from there. So it'll be interesting to see whether that's the approach again. I mean, I probably, I imagine that will be. I think it'll be almost middle ground. It'll be we're keeping the base, we're solid. We're gonna go two DMs, you know, and protect that back four. And then almost try and get through to the second half, and then try and be a little bit more expansive and just see how the game plays out. But the first and foremost thing is, if we keep a clean sheet, we're not getting beaten. We take a point from the game. I think that's how he'll approach it. But won't be like it was at Anfield. Hopefully, where it's just about getting the ball off as far as from the goal. Because as you said, don't expect Chelsea to attack as much, or be the kind of a threat that will hurt us more. You know. Like Liverpool possibly could have.
Yeah, I just don't think they play that way, Chelsea. I don't think they possess that high press game that way and swarm all over you. But like you said, they have got fantastic players. I think he probably will. He'll go reserved. He'll go shape, because shape's so important. But since he's been in and around the club, we're on a 6-game unbeaten run. So why should we give that up to try and appease people?
Yeah.
Whereas if we went and had to go and got beat 3-0, people would be like, well, why did we do that when we were on a good run? If Everton play quite reserved and win the game, they'll be forgotten. We'll just be like, we've won again. It doesn't matter, we've won. We all want to see winning football. Yes, we want to see team goals like Barcelona go, but I'll tell you what, the last 3 we've scored some worldy like team goals the last few games, so there'll be a bit of a mix. And I suppose the big thing for me will be, because they're so strong defensively, how can we get support up to Calvert-Lewin?
Yeah, that's it,
that's the key for me. How can we damage them on the flip side of us trying to stop them from scoring for us? Because like you said, apart from Liverpool, the other teams, I wouldn't say they were poor teams, but the other teams are just run-of-the-mill Premier League
teams you expect to beat.
And teams Everton can do it to, and teams who aren't really strong at the back and you can cause problems to, whereas these are normally, generally built on a decent, solid base. So we're going to need more than just Dominic Calvert-Lewin being isolated to cause these problems. So that'll be, for me, will be the key, whether we play 10 yards further up the pitch, whether there's any kind of personnel change, whether, I mean, we're assuming and hoping that Garner is past 5th for the game. So if that was the case, does he stick Schneiderlin and Garner in there and just go, what we have we protect, or does he go Tom Davies from the off? And he'll give us that midfield legs and getting about, but he'll also give us the option to get out as well, because I don't think that there's only a certain amount of games you can just sit back for and without getting punished, you know, and so you've got to be a little bit better than that. And you know, we've said it before, this is the best squad of players he's ever had, so use them a little bit more expansively.
Yeah, as I said, I think that midfield is going to be the key area, isn't it? But also the fact that their wing backs, it'll be an interesting test actually for both Kenny and Martina. You know, especially Martina, having someone running at him with pace,
power, because he
from,
has got strength
from more of a deep area as well.
Yeah.
So that whereas Salah was right on top of him, I think, but I think it's different when you're playing against someone who comes from a little bit deeper. It can be harder, and it'll be the same for Kenny as well. It's a really tough task, and you know, so far at Goodison this season, when we've played, you know, the likes of Tottenham and the likes of Arsenal, we obviously, I know that was in a different spell of this season, but we were well beaten by better side. And it's funny because it'll be December the 23rd and we've already played Chelsea twice. We'll have already played them 3 times. We'll have played them 4 times this year.
Oh, this year.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's mad, isn't it? So we've already played them twice. I mean, we were comfortably beaten down in the league. We offered absolutely nothing. And then in the League Cup, we offered a little bit more. We had a little bit of
unlucky. Well, that night we were unlucky.
Yeah.
With a bit of luck, we'd have won the game.
But obviously, it was a much changed.
Oh, it was, but it was a much changed Everton.
Oh yeah, but it was a much changed Chelsea team.
Yeah.
But we had the goal that night, and unfortunately, you know, we were beaten. We were unlucky. So, I mean, listen, it'll be a really interesting gauge of where we are.
Don't forget, we've beat these. You know, we've had a decent run at home against them. Last year wasn't great, but we knocked them out the FA Cup the year before. We beat them with a Naismith hat-trick.
Yeah.
You know, when they were in a top side, we beat them when Jose Mourinho took over and Gareth Barry made that block. So we've had some good moments against them at Goodison. And so there's no reason why we can't beat them. Everyone will have to play well, but you know that against the top sides, that's what has to happen. And you know, we've got players who can hurt them at the other end. We've seen Gylfi score another worldie this week. We've seen, you know, Wayne Rooney's got 10 goals in the Premier League. You know, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's causing problems now. Aaron Lennon's playing quite well. So we've got players who can hurt them as well. But it's how quick we can get people up and around Calvert-Lewin, because, like I said, defensive.
I just think it'll be a real, you know, gauge of where we are. You know, where the defence actually is in terms of, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, they've been great, and we've stopped shipping goals against teams that we were shipping goals against everyone, so it wasn't really just like, oh, we've been getting beat by the top sides. But it'll be really good to see not only the defence, but also the likes of Sigurdsson. How does he match up against? How does Rooney match up? You know, he's playing in midfield. It's been great the last few games, but he'd be going up against some really tough a really tough opposition. How does he match up to those players? You know, is it a case of he can do it against the lesser sides, but can't do it against, you know, the better teams? So that'll be all really interesting, and whether there are a couple of changes to freshen up, or whether he'll resist that and maybe look to do that in the 2 away games. But certainly not writing it off, because and I think the reason is because I think Chelsea are a very solid team, but I don't think I don't see like a fluidity in them. I don't see a style that just rolls over. They've just got a very good collection of players, which is capable of beating most teams in the Premier League because of the players, because they're so good. So I think it'll play into that being a decent game because of all the factors. You know, we're both on decent runs, but without being spectacular. I know they beat West Brom quite comfortably and they beat Huddersfield quite comfortably. They're the teams you'd expect them to beat. It'll just be, as I say, I really don't know. It could be a sneaky 1-0 to us, or it could be, you know, it could be. I don't know, because I don't know, and that's the point. This is the game that I think will tell us where we really are, you know, and that's fine, because that might be if the worst case scenario happens, then that might be let's everyone take a step back and reassess the situation. You won't actually know till that happens, so we'll wait and see. Sam?
Big Sam just giving me the update on,
that's good.
On where we are.
No, and it'll be interesting to see what their team plays well, because obviously being away from home, big run of fixtures coming up for both teams. It'll be interesting to see how they change it, whether they take this as, you know, a priority game and thinking we're going to throw everything at them, or whether they leave a couple of out. Maybe if, you know, someone's feeling an issue here and there, they might leave it. So
Big Sam,
yeah, loves ringing us. So let us know your thoughts on it. You know, are you confident? Are you looking forward to it? Are you just waiting to get out in the ale? I mean, Chelsea obviously the favourites, the third in the Premier League. You know, let's not hide from the fact that we are the underdogs in this game. But it'll be interesting. Be an interesting game to see where we are, what we need to do, where we need to improve, and you know, where we are as a team under Sam Allardyce going forward. So as I said, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget, if you haven't already, please subscribe, click the bell for alerts so you know exactly when a video has come out. And if you want more videos, join us on Patreon. We'll see you later.